How can they bounce back?
That's a great question. Only thing I'd be looking at, which we've already heard, is Rishabh Pant. How fit is he? Is he good to go in the next test? Somehow get Jasprit Bumrah to play the next test as well, because three tests is what they want to play. You'd rather play this test knowing that there's a chance of leveling it and then think about the Oval test rather than not having him around at Manchester. And if the series gets done, there's no point thinking about spilt milk after that. And that is what I want this Indian team to see, because this test, it had ebbs and flows. England were on top, then India came back on top. England somehow found a way to wrestle it and take it back at the end. But the beauty about this young Indian team is they fought right to the end. Just like you said, they were there, they were in it, there was grit, there was determination, and that should definitely spur this dressing room. Yes, there were phases like last evening where they lost 3 wickets, this morning where they lost 3 wickets. But the fight, even shown by Nitish Reddy, solid in defense, didn't get beaten almost a ball, batted beautifully, got out to a real nice one from Vokes, a good partnership. And then every partnership after that just showed you that they care, they wanted to win, they did everything possible, but it didn't happen. And that's how Test cricket, this Test match for me, was all about this young Indian team learning from a few small little mistakes that happened during the course of 5 days. But if they reflect on it and get better in those small little areas, there is no doubt that India will do very well in Manchester. If you were in the Indian team, if you were the Indian coach, what would you be telling the Indian team now?
I'd be saying that a lot about the positives and the fight and the spirit, making sure that the younger players realise that you're allowed to take on risks and it's not a problem. I don't want to have a team which is worried about making a mistake. You're going to make mistakes, but you've got to have that risk element to a game. I'll be slightly perturbed by the chase. I'd have liked to have seen India take a few more risks today with the bat in hand and try and challenge England a little bit more so with a risky shot or two. But they're a young team led by a young captain that will get better. I guess it's just those moments when it gets critical. You want the team to realise that you can't just switch off in Test cricket. That's the only thing I'll say. Rishabh Pant's run out just to try and get a batter who's an experienced batter 100 before lunch. Why not just wait till after lunch? Playing great, you've won the session. Just make sure you win the session and you don't give England a chance of just getting that momentum and that hope going into their lunch period. And that's exactly what happened. And throughout this series, you've looked at a number of little things that have gone and you go, oh, India have just switched off. They're catching it headingly. That's just concentration for a young side, and they'll get better at that. But they're up against an England side now that will make a change. Shoaib Bashir won't be playing. His hand is going to be too bad. So England will bring in either a frontline spinner like a Jack Leach. They might bring an all-round spinner in like a Liam Dawson to give them more of an all-round quality in terms of backfield and left-arm spin. Or they might actually just go with Jacob Bethel and throw Jacob Bethel into the mix and use his left-arm spin. I would think under Ben and Baz, for every Test match that they've played, I'm pretty sure they've always played an out-and-out spinner. So I think they'll try and pick their next best spinner, and that'll either be Jack Leach or Liam Dawson. And actually, it's not a bad thing for England just to have a look, because Shoaib's done nicely. Obviously got the key wicket here at the end, but it's good for England just to have a look to see what they could do without
What else they have in the
yeah,
tank?
what else? And it might be that, Jacob Bethel, if he plays, he might bat at 3 and Ollie Pope goes back in the engine room. There's just little things that are happening to this England side going to this big year that I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's sad on Shoaib Bashir, but for the team, I don't think it's a bad thing for them to have a look at another spinner next week.